Hello and welcome. The AstroPub, ladies and gentlemen. Quick. No. My name is Paul Berserker01, Batman Shelley, humble host, space bartender here at the AstroPub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. No, let's go for lunch. Lunch. Go for lunch. What's everyone doing? Got a new audio setup, so things might get a little different. How's everyone doing? How's my voice sound? Audio okay? Sound, it's balanced well? I can turn it down. Sounds good? All right. Sounds good for you? I've got a new microphone, so I can also do things like give myself some auto-tune, and hopefully that comes through. So, yeah. And I can also do this. Nope, that didn't work. Hold on. Is the audio not set up properly? I don't think the audio is set up properly. Properties. No, it's set up properly. Okay.
Try this. No, doesn't sound right. Hello? Oh no, it does sound right.
Okay. I'm trying to hear my own voice, and in my mixing, it doesn't hear right. So. Oh goodness, different mic. Dead echo though. Oh, it's because I was listening to myself, and just also being pumped into the. I haven't gotten everything. it's effectively what it is. Welcome everybody. Nemean Tiger. Okay, hold on. Up. Around a little bit. What's on the agenda today? You sound like a Mass Effect 3. This is my marine
voice.
All right. What's on the agenda today is effectively totally not anything illegal. It's just selling artisanal medical supplements. That's all. That's all I'm doing. Nothing else shady or anything else like that. sounds like fireworks. I thought they didn't do the fleet. The idea is that now you can come watch me after you watch the lore video there, Sandgroper, because it should be done by now.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No abuse.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Kleptor_ just resubscribed for 12 months, 1 year of maximum low. Wonder what kind of drink could be mixed for a name like Max Low. 07 Paul, here's to another year.
Thank you for that 12 months of support there, Klepto. You're very important, public, very impressive, very pedestrian. This is your fault either. I trust and choose and chat, y'all. Trust and choose. Yeah, but I just released a lore video. Funny enough, I made it like back in April, but
welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
I can't tell because hey, it's doing pretty well. Doing really well, actually. Doing better than the complete history of Star Citizen lore. Yay! All right. We're gonna do
vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to please visit.
Door open. All right, so I think I finally fixed the chat. Yeah, so now I can actually read. Fireworks? Yeah, it's gonna do this. I watched the first episode of The Complete History of Star Citizen. Excellent work. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you did. There's 4 of them. There'll be 5 by the end of this summer. So you'll have a lot. My goal is to eventually put them all into one large compilation of a single, like, full version, though I may put one together that's like everything before the Messer era. So like the pre-Messer era, the Messer era, just kind of big chunks. Because, you know, it's always good to do those drops every so often. All right, so we're on.
You are clear to launch.
Ricky.
Drinks all around.
Let's party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. Come on and put your lips together. Blow the candle out. Party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. I wanna make you feel real special. Put your name in lights. We are gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Blow the candle out.
Power 999 Power just got a sub from SC_Drekkie. SC_Drekkie gifted a tier 1 sub to Power 999 Power.
Thank you so much for gifting that tier 1 sub there, Drake. You're both very important puppets, very impressive messages, very good pedestrians. Rock. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Just finished the video on YouTube. I'm here to retake Virgil. I love the story of Virgil. Like, it is the most anime fucking story I have ever heard of, and it is the ultimate. My entire family and everything I own was destroyed because of vindictive douchebag aliens have taken it. I am now going to invent a mobile suit. So that my ancestors, my descendants will fucking murder them. Like, just don't fuck with the people from Virgil. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's over the top. It's bombastic. It is straight out of fucking the fucking Iliad. Which is what I love about it. Orphanage. All right. Dear friend, there we go. I think the next update we'll do a wallet wipe, or am I good to keep it salvaging? From what they said, it sounded like they were going to be doing a wipe of like the things they typically do when they do a reset. So like rentals and like anything you're processing in terms of ore and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to use any excuse to talk about the Zeus suits. I am okay with. I love the Zeus. Or the Zeus system. I watched all 4 complete history videos today. When's the next episode? They were wonderful. Probably August. I had to pull up the YouTube. Loading on. Paul Virgil was awesome. Thank you, Bashful. Vitamins and supplements are not government regulated, therefore 100%
mission complete. Burrito I eat.
Exactly.
There you go.
See, side with wolves that understands entirely. These are just all natural herbal supplements. Okay. I'm an entrepreneur. Gee, Zeus, how come you get to these things named after you? Wait till you hear about Atlas. Or Titan. Because the other name of the of the suit is it's a Titan suit. The planet, the ship, or the power armor. Yes. All about those Coda close-ups. See, that's the best part about that Virgil story, is that it's a story about Titan suits and Kastak arms. It's like, wow. It's why it's like I might be entirely biased in that sense, but like it's one of the reasons why I think the Fall of Virgil is so important, because it gives us all of the cool shit. When will CIG work on smuggling? After they've finished obviously the cargo update, they need to get the replication update, and then they also have to get the sensor gameplay working. Can I fit a Titan in my Titan if I equip it with Titans? On Titan.
Landing gear down.
This seems odd. Anything.
Landing complete. Launch complete. Landing.
They may have been here for a while because they have their lights on, and it's definitely daytime here.
Engines offline.
Entrepenny? Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There are more names we can use, CIG. Please. I'm begging you to crack it, to like, go through some mythology that isn't Roman, that isn't Western. I've been trying to learn as much as I can about the GOS system as I dream of running a holiday touring company in the Genesis Starlander someday. GOS is interesting. I have to. There's so many systems that I haven't really done extensive research on, and that's one of those. There's a couple of systems where it's like this system, and I'm like, I've never fucking heard of this system. Where the fuck did this system come from? So like, even I don't know everything. There's a lot of systems out there that have even some interesting lore that's just like, it just doesn't have a lot of impact in the wider universe. It's just like, it's neat. Which is great. That's the kind of systems you need to have in the game. Are there any land vehicles that have lots of SCU cargo space? No. All right. ETAM. All right. What we need is an Atlas chassis, which is a flatbed truck. They can hold like 32 SU container. Hey, it's got 35%, oxygen rating. It's not bad. Can't tell if the sun's setting or rising. But based on the fact that there's nobody in there and that ship definitely has its lights on, I think it's rising. They must have closed recently. I'm really hoping that Mirai might go more Eastern lore for naming, such as they start making more ships. Yeah, I can see it. I think CIG will keep up the way they design, or will they eventually add more vehicles that can hold more SCU? They'll eventually add more vehicles that can hold more SCU. They just don't have a reason to do it. Because there's no, like, gameplay for it.
Launch complete.
CIG wants to do very easy shit. And, like, this isn't like a CIG lazy sort of thing. It's more of a... CIG just has... They have so much shit on their plate that, like, anything they can do that has most of the gameplay already in, that they can understand, maybe, like expansions and stuff they've already done, it just makes it easier on them. They can, like, play around with ideas that they've already... You love salvaging? The Bounty Hunter 2.0 coming in 2046. Yeah. Nah, it'll come next year. Like, I think it's important for people to kind of recognize that CIG's main goal is to get the basic stuff in. And while I think we all would love, and I think even CIG would love, crazy amounts of dynamic to be done, I think the main focus, once you get server meshing in, is just to get dynamic 1 so that you can save some money, and then let the developers develop. Because, and maybe even like take some of that team and work on things like desync, like really kind of pare down a lot of the problems in the back end once you have the basic framework back end done. Because the difference between dynamic 1 and dynamic 2 is a tool.
You can take away my spaceship.
Now it's complicated.
You can take away my space suit.
It's not going to fundamentally change how
you can even take away my space lasers.
Converses with
but you
the
can
servers and
never,
stuff.
ever
Never
take away my space game.
Wild Wallace Prime just resubscribed for 24 months. Just watched the premiere for your law vid and I want to thank you for explaining the timeline of events. Cheers, keep up the great content. Loken salute, Loken super salute.
Thank you so much for that 2 months of support, or 24 months of support there, Volus. You're very important, but we're very impressed by any pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers and chat. Any thoughts on how the new scanning will work? Not really. I imagine it's going to be an extension of what we already have now in terms of the ping system, but it'll probably have some minor stuff in it so that like it requires a little bit more than just me pinging and figuring out where everything is. Things like power, regulation, heat, those sorts of things. Like that's one of the reasons why scanning's not in right now. It's because heat is an important factor in determining somebody is around you, or like IR signature, EM and IR signature. So they need to have power systems, which are EM signatures, and the heat systems, just the heat signatures, IR signatures, for most gameplay. But thank you, Volos, for watching that. Doing my best to keep up that pace. I already finished recording. I'd written it a while ago, but I finished recording the audio for the history, the complete history of the doctrines of the UE Navy, and that's done pretty well. I've finished recording it. It's about 42 minutes long exactly, which means it's going to be a little bit over that because of about 20 seconds after that. Fury. 2 Furies? The fuck are 2 Furies doing? And 3 Furies? Think ever get an event to retake Virgil, or will that be one of the single-player games? We'll see. Virgil does have a jump point to Nyx, so it is only like 3 jumps away from Stanton. Oh, nice. Also, hello, honest charitable merchant. Thank you. Jaded. Just helping orphans out, you know. Boy, do you sort of God if you're behind here. Oh, everyone goes to fucking Rios these days. Nobody goes here. Stop telling pirates where the fuck I am, chat. I'm not at Brios. They Mimas territory. I'm at the rival. I'm at Samson and Sons. Mostly because I don't want to get fucking, like, ambushed by every single fucking NPC that exists on Star Citizen. Because they all hang out at fucking Brios. The Farian system intrigues me. It's got significant economic downturn, lots of angry people. Perfect place to start a cult. Who's with me? What are you going to worship, though? Are you starting another sun cult? Because there's too many goddamn star cults out there.
Engines online.
Work lurking. Hey, Rob. Listen, I am delivering medical supplements to those in need. Yes, of course I'm delivering medical supplements in a medical vehicle. Duh. How you doing? Quick. Fine. Better than the Anvil video. Number 3 out of 10. At 94 likes. Freaking 30 minutes long, so hope you watch it. His Herald is now 50% off right now. Gotta go down to Scooters. I like that his name is Scooter Lee Scooter. This is gonna be a short-ish stream, just because I'm just you know, doing some light money making. Why star cults when you can have black hole cults? There, see? If you need a ship, he's a real straight shooter. So good. Slow about it, at least. There are 2 separate star cults in the Star Citizen universe. 2. Hey, Arthur, thank you so much for that $7.99. Awesome. All hailed the void door. What's the difference? Star cult video when? I actually did a video on the two cults. I did it in my religions video. One of them is the fire rats who worship the Pyro star and the prophet of Pyro, and the other one is a cult of personality, but it's also a cult that worships the star of Lear. Yeah, the Outsiders. Oh, excuse me. The chillin' for 100 years one was crazy. Yeah, that's the Xian religion. How am I so slow? All right, stupid. Well, time to make my own cult. I don't know what we're worshiping yet, but we'll pump it up that up to number up to 3. 3 star cults, huh? Worshipping the Stanton Sun? Because that means you're worshipping Senator Armen Strong.
Landing complete.
He is the son of Stanton. The once and future senator. Cult of Dem Biddies. Oh shit, maybe we just worship like a random rock. That works too. Find a floating rock. They used to be super common in Star Citizen where you could find like floating rocks. Yeah, nothing here. Right. I think I bought out all of the slam. Oh no, it's been recharging. People aren't abusing the slam market, which is nice. When Pyro is in, we must send out a search party for the rock for a rock.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
They killed your god, is that what you're saying, Bulls?
Silky68 just resubscribed for 45 months. No dancing required.
I'm gonna dance anyways. Thank you so much for that 45 months there, Silky. You're a very important pupper. Very impressive, Pennsylvania pedestrian. This is your rock. Your fault. Shots and cheers in chat. Yeah, shots and cheers. My tongue's kind of messed up because I burnt up on my roof of my mouth. And homemade enchilada. When my ironclad is in, the rock is small enough. We will. I'm likely just gonna. My ship's likely gonna explode before I. That was the wrong one. We're not a cult. We're a passionate fan base. Those of us who love Drake. Ugh. I do have some good news. For those of you following me on Twitter, I have been in the process of losing weight. You know, just walking more and eating less, moving more and eating less. I've also been lifting weights. Nothing crazy. And I'm currently at I've lost 3 pounds in the last week. Hopefully that means by the end of this this week, I'll be under 300 pounds. Thank you. They say that one of the first places you lose your weight is your face, so I'm hoping my face will actually start getting definition. Yeah, once I reach my, so this is gonna sound weird, but I'm mostly just trying to lose weight. Right now, so I'm gonna try to lose weight until I reach about 280, which I should by July-ish if I keep up this pace. Once I hit 280, I'm gonna start actually sort of like going harder on like exercise routine, lifting weights, and other routines like that. Because it'll be easier for me to move around a lot more. I can move around okay, but it's, you know, I have the combination of being almost 40 and being overweight. So my bones are cracky. My bones creak every time I move, and like I could just like do the most strenuous activity for an hour and be fine the next day, or I can stand up quickly and suddenly throw out my back for the rest of the week. Careful not to lose too much fast. 3 pounds a week is on the high side, unless it was all water weight. I'm sure a lot of it was water weight.
Quantum drive is now off.
I was stuck at 307 for like 2 weeks straight. Actually bounced up a little higher too. If you do this right, you'll weigh 0 pounds in 2 years' time. Yeah, but I also figure by the time I reach 280, I'm gonna be at the stage where I'm like, gonna be difficult for me to like really shed weight. What the fuck is that? They're all just Furies. It's just a lot of Furies.
Landing complete. Engines offline.
You turned 40 last month. 2 months ago, I was completely fine, and I swear the day after my birthday, my knee started to do this clicking it, and never did before. You know, my body just reached its expiration date, and it knows. Yeah, when I turned like 32 or 33, I realized I was getting old because like I just kind of was walking. I just kind of twisted my body just a little bit differently, and I wrecked my back for like 3 months. It wasn't like impossible to use or anything like that. I was like, it wasn't like I was impossibly. It was just like every time I tried to like stand up in a certain way or move my body a certain way, it would just like be like, ow. So losing weight is going to help that, I'm sure. And then also, 'cause I'm sure the weight doesn't help. Those sorts of things. But being at a lower weight will make it a little bit easier. Acrobatic stuff like yoga and more targeted exercises. Where we're at right now. 31. Awesome. But I want to reach the stage where I can go to this. I can go to CitizenCon. You know, I guess at my goal weight, which means you'll see me a completely different Paul than you did if you saw me last year. Exactly. See, I'm just helping out orphans. I'm buying artisanal medical supplements from orphans and selling them on the market for what they're worth. Just being a good Samaritan. Okay? Fire Smoky knows exactly what's going on. Yeah, middle age, which can extend into your late 30s, where you can get the sort of persistent pain just from falling asleep on the couch in an awkward posture. I think some of that has a lot to do with just when you get old, you need to have your body limp a little bit more. You can't just like fall asleep in awkward positions and your body just bounces back. You just need to stretch your body out more, be more. I wonder how many American Star citizens come over to UK from MANCHACA CitizenCon. Not an insignificant number. Again, I wouldn't have been able to do it without your support, y'all. I literally wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know if I can afford to fly to the USA for an American one, because the thing is that with me the flight is expensive. The hotels aren't terrible, but I'm still spending about $2,000 just to go. Like that's just for flight, airfare, and hotel was over $2,000. Actually, probably well over $2,000. Then I have to do my passport, which is additional $200. So yeah. Hey, Riven. Plus anything else I get there, so yeah, it can be expensive. Map. How's the verse tonight? Quiet. I'm sure those orphans also love scrambled eggs, of course. So I can get a direct train to Manchester, so that sold it for me. If it was London, it might be pricey, but I don't have a price me. How much does a train? So I'm thinking about taking a train down to Nottingham to visit Warhammer World when I'm there, like the day after CitizenCon. Just to, visit the Holy Shrine. Hopefully it's open. Well, thank you for providing me a refuge of Destiny 2 Final Shape spoilers. Well, be careful. You're gonna hear all sorts of spoilers about the payment is you're gonna have to sit here and listen to me talk about the people of Virgil and their epic struggle to like generational struggle to genocide the entirety of the Vandal race. It's a wild ass story. It's just one of those things that just constantly come back to when I'm thinking about like this is a baller ass story. I got so you and it's also really it's kind of sad and kind of dark, but it's one of those like the people of Virgil were literally just farmers, and the Vandals showed up in a neighboring system, and so they were like, okay, cool, so now we're a weapons manufacturing location. And when their neighboring system fell and immediately got invaded by the Vandal, the Vandal bombed the Virgil to pieces because in response to the stuff that was done to the entirely different system, to them in an entirely different system. So the people of Virgil got retribution bombed for nothing that they did. Lost their home world, which but many of them had been around for literally 200 years at that point, living on that world. And then proceeded to, like, build a mech out of revenge. Let's go. What's a Geneva Convention? No, it's not really mech. It's a power armor, but it's like Fallout 4 power armor. The way that they've described the idea, the closest idea is like PlanetSide 2's max suits. But they're an exoskeleton armor. It's kind of like it's weird because you know how mechs you sit in a cockpit to drive. You don't drive this. You kind of step your legs in, and your legs move. But usually power armor, like you are wearing. In this case, you wear the legs, but then you control the arms with little like arm gyros, kind of like very similar to like the mechs from the Matrix movies. Yeah.
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy.
Yeah, an Avatar. Well, no, because Avatar, you sit in the mech in Avatar, so. No, you're not gonna have him across. You stand on a Titan suit like you've got articulated stilts. Yeah, because they have, it's called planty legs. They have like animal-like, like double legs, so you can like run faster. I thought of the April Fool's event in War Thunder last year, mechanized infantry. Digigrade, thank you. Yeah, jack legs, yeah. I knew there's a technical. But yeah, like the more I dug into it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is like the person who declared war on the Vandal, who forced the Senate to declare war on the Vandal, was the senator from Aramis, who was almost certainly a descendant of the refugees of Virgil. Like, that was some bloodlust shit, and it was just like every single time a member, like a descendant or a refugee from the Virgil system is brought up, they're always like high on bloodlust. It's not like bloodlust in the sense of like berserker rage, like foaming at the mouth, like kill all Vandal. It's like that very quiet, calm rage, where it's like you're like they've been plotting for generations just to like stub one's toe, and they're like, that's good. Now we're going to give it to paper cut. You know, kind of like I'm gonna sit here and plot out every single thing I can do to you over the next 700 years to utterly destroy you from the inside. That kind of like diabolical shit. It looks like Anthem. That's a good one. Yeah, it's very similar to Anthem suits. Cool aesthetic, decent story. Could have been better. Sad it was completely like prone, given the runaround. If anyone in the Star Citizen, like if any NPC in the Star Citizen universe goes, oh yeah, I'm from Vega, my ancestors are from Virgil, never piss them off. There are three things a wise man fears: a moonless night, a storm at sea, and the wrath of a quiet man. So we're at peace with the Vanduul? Oh hell no, we're in fucking war with the Vanduul. But we never were officially at war with the Vanduul until after the attack on Vega. Up to that point, it was this weird sort of, like, they call them the skirmishes, even though humanity had lost multiple systems. The problem is that the way that the Vanduul work is they're not a civilization, so they don't have like a centralized government. They're a collection of tribes. Which are mostly similar, but don't always have exactly the same ideas. And as a result, like declaring war on the Vanduul is like declaring war on terror or on drugs. It's like it's a concept more than a. It's like, yeah, we're basically just saying we're gonna genocide all of this species. It's effectively what it is. The war of the Vanduul. It's not like a war per se. It's a genocidal struggle for survival. A war on entropy, yeah. Is that a reference to something, Jaded? I don't know that reference. I guess it is. I have a video that covers pyro. I haven't done it yet because I don't want to blow my load too early. I want to wait until there's a call for content. Then I'll do a system survey of pyro, and I'll do a breakdown of the gangs of pyro, all kind of stuff. Patrick Rufus. Okay. I recognize the name. No, just coining a phrase. Oh. Is Patrick Rufus the wise man's fear? It has some really nice things to say about the video game The Witcher. Oh, that's good. Yeah, they're more like I would say Vanduul are more like a predator species than they are like an enemy. Because an enemy you can reason with, an enemy you can bargain with, an enemy has objectives. The Vanduul have no objectives in their objective is simply consume and move on. They act more like a predator than they act rather than a political enemy.
Landing gear down.
And because of the nature of how their society is structured, they're incentivized to always seek conflict. Because if they seek conflict and they are successful, they can prove themselves worthy of being leaders. door shouldn't be open. Let's try citizen glitch. Someone on the ship. Or ghost. It's the blue man, chat. Oh, is it a line from Song of Fire and Ice? Neat. Never trust elevators and open doors in Star Citizen. Vandal and the Zerg, they're kind of like the orcs. The orcs from 40K or from Fantasy, they're very, very similar because, like the orcs, they always seek conflict. So combat is what they live for. And they always live for a good combat because if they can find a worthy opponent and win, they gain more prestige and power in their society because their society is entirely meritocracy. It's based off the deeds you do. And the better the better you are at the things you do, like in terms of like combat, the more power you gain. The more power you gain, the better you're going to be as a. The better you're going to be able to raid and pillage and plunder and stuff like that. Vikings is a good example. I mean, they're based off of the actual culture of the Vandals, so like the Germanic steppe people, the steppe Germanic people came into Rome at the end of the Empire. So there's at least some of that element. No different series? Okay. I was comparing that Patrick Rufus hasn't finished the book series that I quoted, just like J.R.R. Martin. Oh, so Patrick Rufus is a writer. What book did they write? That sounds, from that quote alone, sounds interesting. Or a review to book series. Jesus fucking Christ, that's a long time between books. Fucking almost over a decade. Again, it can take some time, but man. That's some fucking... Some time taken right there. This is George R.R. Martin level of wasted time. Bruce is an entertaining guy, loves D&D. I'm guessing that they have an online presence. If they're making enough money through an online presence, then they don't need to write a book. So, great speaker too. He's a good writer. I found most good writers are pretty good speakers. Like my wife.
Quantum drive is now off.
Those again, exclamation point.
Autoloader!
Professionally published, called MANCHACA. Good. Hey. I'm gonna take a break here after I do this next run. Grab something to drink. Stream for them. I'll grab something to drink and then I'll kind of go over the monthly report. I'm not going to do the read-throughs like I normally do. But... Holy fuck. Core games. Hey, economy. A destructible generator is also made for search and destroy missions. The devs are currently working up final with the final with separate pieces that will detach upon destruction. They're finally fixing the fucking bartenders, ladies and gentlemen. Monthly report capsule, that'll be tomorrow. Rupus was not a fan of The Witcher. He did like the 19-episode charity YouTube stream where he played it, but basically spent the entire time bashing it. It was funny. Oh, okay. That was the joke about how he's a big fan of The Witcher. He's a content creator. I got it. Why do the bartenders break so much? I think it's because they're based off of old logic AI, which hasn't been updated in forever. Because I was just kind of glancing through narrative, and they says part of 1.0 or this led to initiatives to develop vertical slices of social spaces to test out a variety of larger scale mechanics, such as day-night cycle schedules, updates to the vendor bartender behavior, and some mission providers that contain space to make sure they're providing the desired content before expanding. So they're basically going to go over and figure out what they want to do with the social AI, where they continue forward with more of the social narrative experience. Close. If it was crap, we wouldn't care, but it's so good. I'd hear that. There's a bit of a difference there, Lady Space Patrol, between a complex collaborative art work like a video game and a book. Books can take a long time, and they can be stressful, and they can require a lot of patience and you know, this sort of thing. But not that long. It's always funny when I'm looking at Star Citizen tweet where the official CIG account is like, hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but close your cargo bay when you are not at your vehicle because things might happen. And it's like CIG, a member of CIG, literally just stealing cargo from somebody's vessels. Like, CIG does piracy? It's like, yeah. There are multiple people at CIG who want to be pirates. So it's whenever I hear people say, like, CIG doesn't care about piracy, it's like, yes, they do. They do a lot. Just like they care about PvP. I'll say things like Star Citizen's not a PvP game, and what I mean is that the balance and focus is in PvP. But to say that CIG doesn't care about PvP is a lie. It's exploration they don't care about. They care about exploration. It's just, exploration is one of those things where it requires effectively all of the other mechanics to work for it. Jesus loves all their children equally, except for the Redeemer. The Redeemer is the black sheep. There's clearly a PvP foundation to this game, which is great. That's how they should be developing it. It wouldn't work if they try to layer in PvP on top of PvP. Yeah, it's at its core. But I think the important thing to remember is that Star Citizen's built around the average day-to-day experience, being with NPCs and that sort of, semi-narrative experience. They want to have kind of a system in place where if somebody doesn't ever even want to involve themselves in PvP, there are ways they can avoid it. Really? An Eternal Crusade fan resurrection is free to play? I would love to see that. I thought Eternal Crusade was an interesting idea. Fun fact, the people who worked on Eternal Crusade actually worked on Star Citizen for a while. They were one of the companies like Turbulent who was actually contracted out. I forgot who it was. Christ, the Redeemer. Yes, that is a quote. I probably said that at one point. It's a good one though. That'd be nice. I do want to kind of do some multiplayer games of Space Marine. They only got Chaos and Marines right now, but it's very colorful. That's nice. Yeah, it sounds like it's basically like what you can get with Space Marine 1.
Landing gear down.
Yeah, all of the big rumors about a Warhammer 40k Total War, which has been kind of increasing over time, has been very interesting. There is a Star Wars Total War game coming out and a Warhammer 40k Total War coming out. The rumors are that the 40k game is going to come out first and then the Star Wars games. They're going to build the engine and test their new engine with 40k, and then once they've got that done, they're going to do a Total War Star Wars. And then eventually, that will lead to them doing another historical Total War game, Total War World War I.
Landing complete. Engines offline.
go. Hey, almost 300K. We'll take a break. It should refresh pretty quickly. Total War Silence sounds really cool, but like, it's not going to take the Empire. How hard is it to not make a giant flawed planet killing machine? Well, depending, my guess is that what they'll do is they'll either set it in a time period that doesn't have the Empire and have it kind of slowly evolve into the Empire. So like, set it at the High Republic era with a bunch of smaller factions. Where you could be the Republic, but you'd have a bunch of other problems. Because like that's generally how it works. Because there's plenty of Total War games where you can be like a tiny little faction that has almost no effect on the history, and you can kind of try to like challenge yourself all the way up. You go way back to the whole old Republic. I was just talking about like just before the beginning of the movies, which is called the High Republic. Ewoks versus Gungans Total War. I should be able to see ArcCorp from here, but I can't. I should probably just delete my shaders. Not one constant. Interesting. We can just pop in distance and actually see it. A genie. Republic versus Sith, the old Republic. Yeah, but usually the way that Total War games work is you have multiple different factions, not two. So they probably have things like the various crime syndicates. There's a lot of lore behind various smaller like trade groups and smaller organizations, Mid Rim and Outer Rim, that kind of function as like small governments. Black Sun Crime Syndicate, Trades Federation, Mandalorians. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's a good way of describing Pyro. It is very similar to the Outer Rim, where like there is law and order. It's just often at the like steady hand of a gun sort of thing. Knew it wasn't gonna do that well forever.
Landing gear down. Landing gear up. Landing gear down. Landing complete.
All right, I'll be right back, chat. It's city, state, law, and order. It only extends to the city wall. Yeah. That's kind of how Pyro works. If you're not fucking with the gangs, then you should probably be fine. Be right back.
y'all.
Drugs.
All right. Let's drink some quick. Go. Cruise. There we go. Keep doing that. Anyways, thank you for all hanging out so far. Like I said, it's probably not gonna be too long. It's reading for an hour and a half already. I'll probably go for another, 30 minutes to an hour. Kind of hanging out, playing some games. Let's make a trip to Crusader. We've kind of gotten some good stuff here. Let's make a trip to not just Crusader. Selling. Private. Might take a bit. Morning, Warrior. Roadmap Roundup, a thing. It's a tomorrow thing. Roadmap Roundup was a last week thing. They do it every 2 weeks. Monthly report is out, but I will be reading it live tomorrow. I do have it up, and we're going to kind of go over it, just glance over it today, and then I'll do the full read through with capsule and stuff like that. Wednesdays I try to do more gameplay streams because I don't stream a lot, and I often don't stream. Usually stream, which is nice, but. I'm doing okay. How you doing, Mario? This could be better. Some nasty side effects from chemo are being pricey. Pricey. That sucks there, Mario. Hard to hear that. $45K basically to get new teeth. Ouch. Hey, biomechanical, how you doing? Sucks. Hey, Luna, how you doing? You're coming towards the end, but welcome. I'm okay. I'm solid. I've been in this is my first full week of summer, so I've been productive. Mostly on other things, but like I've been working out a lot. I've been lost pounds since last week. I've been having before. Yeah, I fixed my, well, not fixed, I finally got around to 11. Setting up my 3D printer. That's good and solid. I got a new audio setup, so I can talk to you, and when I say a nasty word, I can just, it's fine. Like say that, it sucks, man. I should a little more. That sucks, man. Such a bullshit response, Moriar. Like, teeth loss is is a cosmetic issue. No, it's not. It requires you to eat food. You need teeth. Basically, they know it's a real issue. They just don't want to pay for it because it's $45,000, and so they'll do everything they can to not pay for it. They're luxury bones. Yeah, it's always interesting to hear. What do you mean my teeth are fucking luxury bones? You can hear the beep, right? When I do that? Because I've got a swear button. I've got a button that I push when I swear. I'm trying not to abuse it. Yep, I am heading to CitizenCon this year, thankfully, because of the very generous donations from people in the community. I am able to go. Oh, and after I was cordial with insurance, 10 minutes later, I got a call from my therapist. I do have a new toy. New toy that I can go, this is your captain speaking, will be arriving later in the next 3 minutes. Make sure you sit back, relax, put your tray tables up to their upright and locked positions as we head into final landing zone at the property. Hope you enjoyed your time here on Entrepreneur Airlines. Come back again. Last time I think we met was Austin CitizenCon. Toxic Texas Citizen Con? Oh yeah, probably. That was 2018.
Quantum drive is now off.
This new audio, you don't seem to be as punchy. Like prior, you had a lot of bass. Now it's more subdued. It still sounds good though. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I actually had boosted it out a little bit more, so my voice sounded a lot more deep. So now I'm a lot more my actual voice. But it's like a new mic and new amp and all that kind of stuff. So I could probably mess around with it to get that same audio back, but I actually kind of like the quality of this a little bit better. Having less technical errors and stuff like that too. This is where a fucking security officer shows up. They've been doing that recently. They just show up to this place specifically to scan people. But Paul, does your setup punch above its weight class? It does. Nothing like catching one of your lives with a cold one in your hand. Hey, glad you enjoyed it. Enjoy the cold one. What specific cold one though, Rusty Sniper? You can't just bring that up there. Am I streaming tomorrow? I am. So I'll be doing my normal times. So 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for office hours. We'll be looking at the monthly report. I mean, it makes sense that, you know, there would be some security patrols around the known drug smuggling location. But I mean, obviously, this is just, you know, artisanal medical supplements, right? Cops coming on this poor man's private property without permission, just scanning random people. I mean, what happened to privacy, man? What happened to the right of privacy? Can't a man just make deals with another man in peace on an isolated moon in the middle of nowhere?
Landing complete.
Honestly, sounds better. Miller Lite feeling cheap today. Hey, Miller Lite's not a bad choice. My cheap choice, if it's not PBR, is What is it called? It's a Miller product. I like to call it the champagne of beers, is the joke I used to use. But it's my good solid go-to cheap beer. It's called the Champagne of beer. High Life, Miller High Life, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Chet. I haven't like had booze in a long time. Not because I'm like trying to go like sober or anything. It's just more of a just haven't had a reason to drink, either a social reason or just a desire to. Or a cop shows up. It's like, hey, pull over. I want to scan your shit. You can't drink, so there's that. That's true. End of the school year? Yeah, actually, school ended. I mean, yeah, that's a good excuse to drink. But I mean, like school ended, and I immediately did a 3-day streaming marathon where I streamed for 8 hours a day. And I'm I released the last of my backlog today for the the Astro Historian. So today I finished recording a script that I had finished that I hadn't started recording yet. So I finished recording that today, and tomorrow I'm going to be tonight and tomorrow I'll be editing it together to release to my Patreons this weekend. And I hope to also be able to write another episode this weekend. So I'll have written and recorded one by this weekend so that I have another one that I can release to Patreons by next week. It's the one. Teacher's my day job. Yes, I teach high school. Still waiting CIG to give us the nice drinks from the bars in the game. Where's the dang Radagast? Yeah, really. But your AstroPub. Yeah, I don't know many bartenders who drink. Well, I mean, they drink, but you know what I mean. Drink on the job. But I'm glad that I could be here to help y'all kick back, relax, and enjoy me doing completely legal actions that have in no way, shape, or form can be regulated by the government. I know this is a bit of a trek, but I am not going to Brios. Brios is a death sentence. But it's not even players. It's just like NPCs keep showing up. Go fuck yourself. Probably might get a kick out of this. A professor in my neighborhood just might be getting canned because he did an ass for pass scheme. Oh my God, that's the stupidest thing. It's like #1 rule of teaching. It's a problem with professors, though. With like college professors is a huge, because the thing is that college professors aren't teachers, so they're not really there to teach. Most college professors are there to do research and to get funding for their research, or to write books or that kind of thing. Most of them aren't there to teach youth. They're there. The teaching is part of the job that they have to do in order to make money. But as a result, they don't come into colleges with the attitude of teachers. They come into colleges with the attitude of researcher. So when they're teaching a remedial course and some desperate young kid who's, young and attractive offers a solution, especially if they're a socially awkward, like, science researcher, yeah, they might take that stupid idea. Might go up to that stupid idea. It's like, you're gonna get caught. That's not something you do and don't get caught for doing. And on top of all of that, it's really fucking stupid. Because, like, they're kids. even like 21 years old, it's like you're just out of that phase of where like you're too young to know nothing. You're like getting to that point where like, oh yeah, I understand a little bit more about what the world is like. It's stupid. It's stupid, it's destructive, it doesn't help anybody out. Imagine a Christian college and the student got knocked up. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's happened to multiple professors when I was in school. I'd heard stories about that kind of stuff, and it wasn't like, oh, they did the ask for pass scheme, but like, there was a professor who was obviously dating a student, but they were already married. They got a divorce from their significant other, and then the next year, they started dating the student that had just graduated from. And that student eventually went off and got a PhD and then came back to the college to teach. So like the student, the professor was like in their 30s, and their now second wife was like 25. It's like a 15-year difference. He was like almost 40, and he was like 25 as a new teacher. It's like, God damn it. Do my students know about my YouTube? Some of them do. There's a couple of them who are probably watching now who are students of mine. They come on every so often, but I don't tell them until after they work. These the good old days my older coworkers talk about? Probably. Yeah, but that's more of an issue. That was more of an issue in my experience than like the whole ask for pass scheme. It's just like students and professors in a relationship. Just such a. I'm not going to go into too deep detail with that, because that's not something to like really like too in due detail. But I just don't understand the power dynamics and that shit. It just doesn't work. I left college and I was still a naivete. Yeah, yes, everyone is. I mean, I'm 37. I don't know everything about it. Once my experience is that generally speaking, once you reach past 25, somewhere between 25 and 40, most people will come to the realization that nobody knows what they're doing. Everyone's just making shit up as they go along, and most people they also realize themselves that they don't actually know. Like, there's a limit to your knowledge. I'm living up to the Drake cliche. I'm in a red, right? This is an ambulance. I'm gonna help people. I realized around that point that I'm a dumbass. Yeah, same. I feel like it's more like the 30s nowadays. Well, it depends. There's plenty of like kids grow up pretty fast. I've had plenty of students who are just like freshmen in high school acting like had to, worry about their future, worrying about like where they were going to go after high school. And I was taught in high school by an IT teacher 13. Nice. Your former teacher is now learning from you. It's cool. Well, I've been married since I was 18. I'm 40 now. I will admit, I'm still a dumbass. Nonsense. I'm 27 and I know everything. How you doing, Celine, by the way? Hey, Victoria, how you doing? Help people from their drugs. Listen, it's artisanal, nutritional, or medical supplements. Okay. Glad you're here. Yeah, I started teaching college, and I was shocked by the teacher thing, or just in general. College is one of those really funny places, because most college professors aren't teachers, so they don't have like the understanding of how education works and how to teach, and 'cause there's like an entire like there's like theory in education in terms of how to teach, and there's a whole lot of process that we use and scaffolding. Like vocab building, and there's a lot of steps that you somebody something new. Like, for instance, doing more things with hands-on experience. Most people learn better by trying something and failing, by doing, and or teaching somebody else the thing. So I have, getting a student to the point where they can do a project or research project or partner, they can work on something is important. And I know everyone hates group projects, but that's one of the reasons why it's done, is because they expect the people in the group. One person is smart, or people struggle, or they as quick as the other one is, and so the smart can help the one who isn't as up to date on everything along, and that person, both of them might learn better from that because your thing. Do we have any Adderall? I don't. I left teaching and went full IT program. I thought here you're transporting factor. No, not meal replacement. Those who can't do teach is an entirely unrewarded. It's also not true. People who think you can just go to school, go teach in a school, you have no idea what you're doing, will get chewed up and spit out. Kids are like animals. They can smell your fear. They know when you don't understand something and you're not in control. If you feel uncomfortable, they will figure it out and they will mess with you. They will find ways to push the boundary. They will do stuff intentionally to make you mad because they want to find the limits. They want to figure out who you are. And because, they're psychopaths, especially high schoolers, psychopath. And I know that's not me saying like, oh, well, it's like, high schoolers. No. Your brain literally like reverts. Like this is something I learned in, going through teacher college. Studies have shown that students, like kids' brains, kind of when they grow, the part of the brain that's responsible for empathy and all those sorts of things is one of the first things that grows. It kind of develops, so that younger kids can start to kind of mimic things and they can figure things out, which comes, is why young kids are sweet, and you have that kind of like 5 to about 12-year-old age, even really want to like approval, and when you get about 13, your brain starts to develop its more parts of the brain, or individual expression, and it literally turns off the part of your brain that is about empathy in the process, and there's a lot of theories behind it, but if basically students will become, or kids will become less empathetic and more like little sociopaths. And the theory that I remember going to college about it is that the theory was that evolutionarily this was allowing for people at that age to be able to leave the tribe, be able to go on their own, try to break away from traditions, try to, as an evolutionary force to get us away from our kin, so we didn't end up mating with our kin and creating inbred people to kind of like be kind of our own kick out people, leave the nest and go. Yeah. I teach in Taiwan. The culture is very different, and teacher is a term of respect. Oh yeah, I mean, I think teacher is still a term of respect. Even in America, it's just we don't pay teachers well. Yeah, my wife is a nurse, and in high school for 4 years, she said that they're vicious. They're awful. Like, you cannot show a moment of weakness at times. But they're also not always evil. It's like they're kids, and if you don't understand how kids are, you can easily mistake being stupid and a child for being malicious. And a lot of times it's just, they're dumb kids. And I don't mean that as in like, again, like, oh, they're stupid, they'll never know. It's just more like they don't understand. They're not wise with the world. They don't know what the world's like. And they'll do things because they feel like it rather than because there's a reason for it. Yeah, they're pushing boundaries. They're trying to find what's going on. Yeah, people respect Peaches. The government doesn't. That's a great way of putting it. And again, I'm from Kentucky, so what can you? My older brother didn't get that gene. He tried to date each and every one of his direct cousins. It's called a mutation. It was like posting on Spectrum. Yeah, kind of like that. That's a good way of putting it there, Rigsby. But yeah, it's literally a biological thing. And once I kind of figured that out, you know, after my first year of teaching, that kids are just kids, I became, I think, a better teacher overall because I realized, like, sometimes kids just do stupid shit. Why? Because they're kids. Like, I'm not saying, like, boys will be boys sort of situation. I'm saying just more like, they don't know. Yeah, it's not just inner city versus suburbs. It's just also where you are. Like when I teach I taught in California, and I've also taught in the South. In the South, every single kid is yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, kind of like, it's very, very formal. They're all taught to be very respectful and to listen to you. They'll still not listen to you, but they'll at least like listen to you and then do the opposite thing they told you to do. It's really like where you are. It's like local culture plus also like, you know, like inner city versus rural and suburban. I could talk shop about being a teacher for a while, but y'all aren't here to hear me talk about teaching.
Landing gear down.
My point was that there's so many college always doesn't. The reason why I understand why so many people don't think college may not be a good deal is because it's like that. Like, college professors aren't there to teach you. They're there to research.
Landing gear up.
And because they don't always know how to teach, it's not always a valuable commodity to get that degree, because if you're there to actually learn about what you need to do, you may find out that, you know, the best way of learning out what you need to do is just to do it on your own. Like, most tech stuff doesn't really require a degree. Degrees won't really help you beyond helping you increase your pay scale. And I'd say, generally speaking, that's my experience with teaching as well. Like, going to get a master's in teaching probably wouldn't help me that much, other than giving me a higher pay, because if you have a master's, suddenly more valuable. Even though I doubt I'd learn anything more in my master's program than I would in teaching.
Landing gear down.
I wanted to be a teacher at one point, but I wanted a paycheck. Ouch.
Landing. Engines offline.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna sell this, and then we'll kind of hang out for the last little bit. Well over 2. It's fun when the game's not broken and you're enjoying yourself. Time flies by pretty quickly. And I'll probably make a good, solid profit off of this. I'll definitely clear 300K, probably more like 400K. This is one of those benefits of doing what I'm doing right now, is that you can do it from a very small ship and make plenty of money. And as you make more money, the more you make more money overall, because it's like a direct line. Now that I have, I have like 120K. I sell this, I earn another 202K. So I'm at like 300 and almost 25K. 324K, yeah. And I started with like 150. Or no, I had 180. So I made well over 100K in 2 hours. And all with a ship that only holds 12 SCU. And because I'm earning more and more money, I can afford the more expensive products and then sell those more expensive products. Yeah, I think that's the way of doing it as well, like luxury goods, being able to buy low and sell high, I think. That's why I always champion this as a great way of making money for new players, because it teaches you a lot about different things. It teaches you how to fly, it teaches you about the different kind of buy low, sell high kind of situation. It's also exciting because you never know if you're going to survive your trip. It's always a little dangerous. Eventually it'll teach you things like being able to manage power and stealth mechanics, stuff like that. We don't have an HR person at my company where I put a new hire request through our HR contact. I asked apprentice, put on the job description 15 years experience. Ooh. Goddamn. Apprentice with 15. Where's Area 18? How far is that? One mega mile, megameter. Go over here to OM5. I swear, I think HR people are about the dumbest people in business. No, it's because the reason why they do that is because they're trying to rule out people from applying. They're basically saying, sure, we'll get you an apprentice, but we don't have the money for it, nor do we actually want to spend the money for it. So we're going to not pay or not find you an apprentice for you don't want to, or because you just don't have the budget for it. Oh, you don't have the budget for it because that would be problematic. Any point. There we go. $55K a year is pretty good money for an apprentice. It's more money than I make. But yeah, that's also a lot of money, which is why your company may not want to hire them, because that's money that they could use for something else. But they'll still tell you that they're going to hire somebody, because that makes that gives them the ability to say to be like, oh no, we did it, see?
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Landing gear down.
No, I actually got a hangar in the inner ring. I almost never do.
Landing gear up. Landing gear down. Landing complete.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Offline.
Hey, Sergeant Lobster. What did you? Bill. You're the owner, though? What? Is it your company? Oh, did you have a HR company that does it for you? That seems kind of stupid. Wouldn't you be the one who says, hey, this is how many experience I need?
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System. Please visit.
So our total is 323,489. We're way up. Soon. Storage. Soon. All right. Hey, Toybreaker. How am I? What are you doing in game, if I'm asked? A completely legitimate. I'm just selling artisanal medical supplements. All right, nothing else. Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Just a minute. Being a Draco. right, let me pull up the right document here. So we're not going to actually, I'm not going to go through this like an actual like capsule, but I do want to go through the monthly report, find the juicy stuff. Listen. All right. So the couple things I really like to see is ships. So let's see if there's any ships. So by the way, this is really cool. Liquid carrying cargo containers with all sizes from white box to final. This is neat. This is neat. And then, of course, this is the generator, a destructible generator for search and destroy missions. The devs are currently working up to final with separate pieces that will detach with destruction, which is very nice. The economy. Last month, the effort versus reward algorithm was documented, which enabled the economy team to determine the technicalities of implementing the mission system. Once live, mission rewards will be based on the time and difficulty to complete. Part of this involved establishing a sensible time estimates for hauling missions and finalizing the reward balances for the Copian and Mark mission. They also supported Invictus Launch Week with existing cargo missions. Design for the refactor of the shop system was underway, which will provide more flexibility from trading commodities and item shopping. Progress was also made on an algorithm to determine the base prices of commodities. Interesting. Ooh. Freight manager to warehouse to elevator. Neat. That's actually very all right there. Quantum travel is currently being reviewed to assess any aspect that's needed to be made for server meshing complete beyond issues observed during tech preview tests. Charge and drain is through pre-production. Will utilize resource network, support multiplayer, and the ability to charge and drain distortion damage from chip components. Biome accumulation. The team completed further Squad 42 porting work and scoped out how the feature will integrate into the weather system. Biome accumulation. Is that like snow accumulation? I love it. Art ships. Okay, art ships. For Alpha 3.23, ship art delivered the Aegis Retaliator's cargo and bomber module, ensuring they met gold standard requirements. The Argo MPVU tractor was also completed in May. Elsewhere, Lot Zero is completed for the Zeus Mark II, with the team delivering significant amount of work dramatically increase the detail in all areas of the ship. For example, lighting across the entire ship has been designed to bring out the volume and highlight details, while animation passes were done across moving parts, with many receiving secondary motion to communicate a sense of weight. The next stage is a wear pass and completion of the ship's damaged states. Material passes were also done to help unify the look to feel new RSI ships in the future. Finally, for ship art, 3 other ships entered white box stage. So this is important. When you see this right here, when they say 3 other ships entered white box stage, what they're telling you is that 3 ships we have never heard of or seen before are now in white box. That means that 4.0 might have up to 3 ships for it. Possibly more like 4.1 or like the IAE patch. This is probably more likely what there are. But it depends. It could be something else. But these are ships that they have not told us about, have not porting. All the stuff that's being ported is being ported from Squadron to Star Citizen. Just because there are different branches, but they're all part of the same. So some features that are in Squadron are not in Star Citizen yet, because they've been focused on Squadron first and kind of bringing everything they can over. It's not Orion. I wonder if that's evidence that some of the silhouette ships might slip and we'll get new ones instead. Maybe. Though there are plenty of those silhouettes that are that were kind of not new. So. I didn't know they were doing I'm doing my part video contest. Because I would have just entered a I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit. No, it's not going to be the Odyssey or the Apollo or anything else like that. What we'll see in the in those white boxes are brand new ships that they haven't said before. Haven't talked about. One of them is likely the Mirai Defender or whatever, the one that we saw that looked like the Fat Fury. Me over here remembering the Orion is currently the second largest capital you can buy and fly until the Endeavor gets its size increase. Let's look. I always like to look at the AI tech. It's this thing. Following the launch of Alpha 3.23, Alpha features supported the upcoming point patch in future releases. Specifically, they worked towards consistent behaviors across different combat scenarios, ensuring that AI characters react in believable ways, no matter what position they're in. The team began by improving and unifying perception reactions, improving cover use in different scenarios, and making holistic evaluation of all combat elements to ensure they were intended. This is particularly important with the recent improvements to the hostility system. For example, if an AI comes across two others fighting, and they are friendly with both, doing nothing is not a valid response. As the first pass implementation for Alpha 3.23, the AI will run and cower when the situation arises. Though this isn't ideal, this will be improved upon for an upcoming release. Hey, in May, gameplay animation focused on numerous creatures, including the unreleased Kazi Grazer. Space Cow. Love me the Grazer. Endeavor is small. Isn't it a giant capital? No, actually, its current size makes it slightly bigger than the Hammerhead. I'll look it up real quick. It's 200 meters long. The Idris, it's 42 meters shorter than the Idris. Let me put it this way, Caffeine Fiend. It is no way going to stay 200 meters. Considering the Endeavor was created in 2015, it is one of the last of the concept ships from the early days to be released, next to like the Banu Merchantman. The Banu Merchantman has at least gotten some like white box passes to increase its size. They haven't even bothered to sniff at the Endeavor. The Endeavor is such a long-term project that I haven't even thought about it. No, that's its full extension. You got to remember that the Endeavor was built when Star Citizen's like everything was much smaller. The Idris was only like 150 meters. They completely overhauled all of their kind of scale for ships, and the Endeavor still hasn't had its rescale. It's still pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big, but it's like, to give you a concept, the Carrack is not telling me. The Carrack is 126 meters. So this would be, the Carrack is like a three quarters of an Endeavor. So a Carrack and a half. Like a Carrack and a 3/4. And think about the Carrack in terms of like its size. This thing is no way going to stay that size because it also is supposed to have like 100 medical beds on it for the Hope. It's supposed to have its own cargo, its own hangar, which can hold a Cutlass Red. Okay. It's got a hangar that can hold a Cutlass Red. It's supposed to have 2 pods, be able to hold 2 pods with hydroponics bays on. There's absolutely no fucking way that the Endeavor is going to stay at 200. Based off of discussions I've had with Grim Star Jump from Star Jump, with Execute and other info runners, we think that it's easily going to double in size, if not triple. Somewhere between 300 and 600 meters. How big is the Kraken? The Kraken's not much bigger than the Idris. It's 270 meters long. Yeah, it's about 40-ish meters longer than. But it's also a width of 104 meters. Whereas this is going to drive you nuts. The Endeavor. Okay. You want to know the width of the Endeavor? You ready for this? Are you ready for the width of the Endeavor? Because you're not ready for the width of the Endeavor. No, it's only 48 meters long and wide. It's only 48 meters wide. That's not that big. Is that max width? That is its specifications. It's its dimension of width. And it's only 20 meters high. To give you context, it's twice the width of a Freelancer. It's only 8 or 6 meters less wide than a Freelancer Max. There is no fucking way the Endeavor is basically the width of a Freelancer Max. There is absolutely no fucking way. and half the height, twice the height of the Max. The Max is 10 meters. To give you another context, the Retaliator is 30 meters, which would mean that the Endeavor is only 10 meters wider. So the Valkyrie, yeah, it would be about the same width as the Valkyrie. The Corsair is taller than the than the Endeavor. The Corsair is taller than the Endeavor. Yeah, like there's absolutely no fucking way that that's what it was originally sold at, was that size though. Ricky, it's definitely going to go up in size, but they just don't have. They're not bothering to worry about it because it's so far down the line. There's so many different features they have to get done that, like, I think only just now could they even think about starting work on it because of modularization is now. But like, oh yeah, no, it's going to be the size of a whole C minimum, not the whole E. I just wanted to give you all perspective because, like, you can say 20 meters, you know, like it's 20 meters high. And you don't really get that until you find out that the Corsair is 25 meters. The whole sea, by comparison, is 55 meters wide. Okay? Which means it's 15 meters wider than the... I'm guessing this is not with its spools extended. Might be with it. And it is almost 3 times the height of the... That's the whole C. The whole D is 200 meters long, which is what the Endeavor is right. It's like insanely beyond the Endeavor, because the Endeavor's 40 meters wide. This thing's 70 meters wide, and it's 70 meters high. Almost certainly, based off what the Endeavor is supposed to do, it will probably grow by magnitude. It will probably be bigger than the whole E is 327 meters, which is probably closer to what the Endeavor will be. Its width is 104 meters, and its height is 100. Hey, welcome everyone from Imitation Tina's stream. My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host in space. At TheAstroPub, your space bar at the end of Twitch. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. Oh, no, my mic is definitely cutting out. I haven't had time to really dial in this new mic, so some of the gate is a little off. The problem about the gate is that if I set the gate too low, you hear fucking everything. So my mic might actually cut off a little bit when I'm... What you up to? How's the stream going? I'm just kind of finishing up, actually. We finished doing some gameplay, and I was looking over this monthly report. We were talking a little bit about the Endeavor, because the Endeavor is gonna get big. All right, let me go through some of the other stuff that I really care about. This is great, but holy fuck, this is a lot. I'm sorry, holy, this is a lot. 2 new Shark teams were created. One will focus on 2 modes, one of which is FPS Horde mode. For FPS Horde, the game mode in the initial setup was completed alongside the deliverable scope discussion and task breakdown. The primary goal of this mode is to provide developers with a fast, easy, and reliable way to iterate on the development of spawn closets, create creature and human AI, and FPS radar. The team will assess the game mode closer to Alpha 4.0 on the feasibility of introducing it as a publicly playable experimental mode. Endeavor Biodome, Endeavor Super Collider, Endeavor Service Equipment and Crew, Endeavor Fuel Pod, Endeavor Landing, Endeavor Medical Bay, Endeavor Research Lab, Endeavor Science, Endeavor Telescope Array. Yeah. I get it, though. Let's see. Mission design and narrative. Throughout May, Mission Design continued working on cargo missions, specifically polishing the abandon flow. This is used when a player decides to no longer play the mission. For example, if they've already picked up a load and the contract will give them a lot of time to deliver closer to the location and take less of a reputation hit. If the player doesn't deliver the cargo in the allotted time, it will be marked as stolen. Planning was also done on a mission system refactor, which was required for server meshing. This will also bring the process and pipeline used team up to date to ensure everything is aligned with the current standards. Future content plans are underway, with some actively being built. Mission design also aligned the tech design on the deliverables to see if more of an upcoming gameplay can be utilized. Pyro-based repair missions are being actively designed. These involve replacing components containing radiation and power management via charge and drain. That was the thing they talked about a while. Chop, shop, strip stuff. So no, it's gonna be fresh. I'm just kind of going through some of these the ones that I like catch my eye that are cool. I'm gonna tell you the secret there, Victoria. I actually read a lot of these beforehand, not extensively, just kind of glance over things before I read them online. Because usually by the time I read them online, I've completely forgotten that I've already read this. Narrative's the other one I was looking for. May kicked off the flurry of activity for the narrative team. As part of scoping of responsibility for Star Citizen 1.0, they looked into larger role in the oversight and maintenance of social universe. This include reviewing and adjusting existing civilian behaviors so that the personalities of various locations and landing zones come through. The team is also prototyping new behavior types that will appear throughout some upcoming locations, as well as previously established ones. I'm going to skip that because stuff. Part of 1.0 development, further work was done on location stories for major landing zones, with team members working with design to tailor the story to gameplay. These missions will provide exciting opportunities for players to embark on adventures that embellish local storylines. Fuck yeah. Let me feel more connected to ArcCorp or to Grim Hex. Yeah, three other ships in White Box. So 3 brand new ships we have never heard of before. As part of part 1.0, the team also continued to support upcoming patches by providing new content for some of the upcoming mission modules, providing additional in-fiction names and descriptions to items, and working with the core gameplay teams on future mechanics. The website, the narrative posted with this guide Hercules and a badge of it. Very cool. Yeah, we're actually going to wrap up here, Champ. I'm just kind of going through the last of it. I'm not going to go through all of this, but web platform. We'll be back. We'll be reading through this more thoroughly tomorrow, through the office hours. But to give you an idea, the plan is this week. I just released my long-held. It was held in the backlog, Fall of Virgil and story of the Fall of Virgil and like its impact on the universe of Star Citizen. It's doing pretty well. But yeah, go watch it. It's one of my favorite ones because I love talking about this. And one of the ones I'm working on right now is actually I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's definitely so. I'm a historian, and by that I mean I'm a social scientist. So one of the things most social science sort of loves to do is I like to describe it as you have a puzzle with half of its pieces missing. And what you're supposed to do is figure out what that puzzle is supposed to be of by filling in the pieces with the context from the other piece of the puzzle. So you can look at a puzzle that has, some parts that are connected, some parts aren't, and you're able to fill out the incomplete picture with an idea of what it should be there based off of what the rest of the puzzle is. That's kind of what doing research into like anthropology or sociology or history is, or even psychology is a lot of taking up average. And that's what I had to do for this one because it's the doctrines, the naval doctrines of the humanities Navy throughout the year. So I got to make my own eras, which is always fun. I got to piece together a full kind of structure so you can understand how the Navy evolved and why it evolved, which helps explain things like the Perseus, the Gladius, the Idris, the Nautilus, the Javelin, why they look so different, what they're doing. Because it's clear that there is a kind of a general flow that the group, but they don't want to talk about it, because if they talk about it, it makes it lore, and that makes it canon, and then change it. That's fun. There is a time and place for Law and Order hardlining. This is not it. The people are providing CIG with. I get being frustrated that we're not at the point bug explorers or finish. CIG will tighten up everything. Ultimately, it's up to CIG. It's always important to remember that master modes My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Charlie, your humble host in Space Party. At the AstroPub. Are you ready to throw down for a good cause on Saturday, Zero? We were talking a little bit about the lore video I just released. It's a shorter one. It's only like 27 minutes long instead of like at 40. The alerts are super loud tonight because I have brand new audio set up and nothing is dialed in properly. So I am unbelievably not ready, but it'll be fun. If I turn the mic up a little bit too much, then you'll be able to hear everything. So this is a brand new microphone, brand new setup, and it's going to take me a while to get everything dialed in. So if I just turn things up willy-nilly, it'll probably break a bunch of other stuff too. So. Yeah, because like the gain is already super freaking high right now. Like it's unbelievably high. It's like it's in the loud section. Oh, it's a Rode Procaster. I'm not going to add more concept for the background noise. What I just need to do is add a I just need to add a compressor. But that needs time for that sort of thing. It has a sound gate. It has a sound gate. That's why it's so quiet right now. Because like if you like listen to me right now, you probably can barely even hear it all. It's just a matter. I've noticed that like this music is louder and the alerts are louder. It's just like, why is it so loud? But yeah, you're coming in at a weird time here, Zero, because we've got we're about to log out. We went through and we're looking at this. So we're looking at the monthly report, and so some cool stuff. 3 new ships are in white box. They're doing a horde mode for FPS. It's being vetted for 4.0. We've got all of these fancy things. There's new stuff that's being added. Narratives going through and adding new story missions for every location, which is nice. Do these ships have vector nozzles? Are citizen ships? Yes, I think. I have a Go XR Mini, which actually has its own. It's pretty good at that. Just a matter of, again, adding a compressor to make sure that my highs and lows aren't effed out, so it can. I'm not trying to backseat audio engineer. I'm sure you got it covered. Oh, I definitely need help, but Darj is the one who's going to help me out with the whole setup. At some point, badger them to help me out. What were you up to there, Zero? He was duping cargo. I know Zero is currently fighting with CIG over their kind of slapdash system. And I think I generally agree. I think what CIG really needs to do is declutter the UI. I guess my big hope is that CIG really tightens up the UI by decluttering a lot of what we see currently. There's a lot of stuff we see in game which just doesn't make sense. Like, I shouldn't be able to see every single abandoned ship. Now, I think to a degree that's a problem for the abandoned ships. They just need to clear ships. But also, like, debris, and just see like a scatter shot of like simple. You're not even seeing ships. You're just seeing like UI boxes, which isn't good. You can't see anything but just HUD spam for Xenothreat. We needed master modes for UI. No, what we need, honestly, is scanning game. Because I'm pretty sure when you have scanning gameplay, you can remove a lot of the clutter from the ship, so you can just have simple red, blue, white HUDs that you don't have to have a lot of information for, because you can use the new MFDs or the new scanning mode to actually find more information. You don't just get all the information you need. Clutter modes. You think ships will just auto-delete after a period of time for now? I think what they'll do is they'll have a dice roll. Once they get the back-end dynamic economy stuff working a little bit better, what they'll probably do is do a dice roll to see how long shipwrecks will stay active, or they'll just turn into virtual NPCs. Like, after a while, they'll just completely spawn backgrounds. Filtering. They definitely need filtering. Because, like, it's also a gameplay mechanic. I shouldn't be able to know that the guy's flying the Shippy McShip face, you know, like, just by staring at them. I should have to scan for that information. It should be done on a separate screen, because all I should matter in my combat situation is, you know, is this an enemy or a friendly, and where are they? Do I have them locked? You have one pet peeve with Star Citizen? What is it, Fishy? Do we have zones where they get cleaned up, i.e. around star points? I mean, I think what they really want to do is have those starport ones be picked up by NPCs or by players with missions. Again, dynamic. The radar tells you nothing about what direction the blips are traveling. Add some squares that represent that body. Yeah, on the radar screen, not on your HUD. They need to move as much as they can from your HUD to MFTs and be able to kind of customize that. You still hear me? Yeah, you can. I just can't be too quiet. I'm trying to see it so you can still. Have a great night, Patches. Won't the HUD have virtual MFDs? They will, but they'll customize it. Because, like, if I'm seeing somebody, I don't care about, like, what their registration number is. All I care about is if they're a friendly or an enemy. And maybe what type of ship they're. That should give me a separate screen. It should be clean. It should be easy to read. It should only matter with what you need. And let's be honest. Do we need a screen to tell us about the name of the ship we're staring at? No, that's not a valuable information when doing anything in game. What's important, more important is it a friendly, an enemy, or an unknown ship? The old school. Well, I think everything else can be put onto other modes. Like scanning mode should be the thing you get all of that information. You want to know what the name of that ship is that you're staring at? Go to scanning mode. The scanning mode will give you the eye cancer of the clutter. Also, like the scale and size of some of these HUD markers is just atrociously large. Takes up most of the screen. I get that you want it to be readable, but like. Exactly, one ping. It's about that time for me to pull it up here shortly too. Silly. Finish my water. Would you have a formation fly, i.e. hiding ships, 3 ships locking as one, making size and the thing? Yeah, it already is. Like, if you're too far away, you should know that there's a target nearby, but you don't know the actual makeup of the target. So you scan. You might be able to pick out the different clutter. But it's already in there. I think they should copy Eve for scanning, but something requiring probes would be. I don't think you need probes. They had the idea of doing probes, but I think doing scanning pings, like going off of sonar, is a good route. Hope you start your summer schedule. IRL is providing you some Warhammer hobby work. Finally getting some old world matches with a buddy at a local hobby shop that has terrain tables. Barely 100-point armies. Dwarves for me, cast dwarves for him. Hope your painting and gaming is going. It's going well. It is going well. I just need a game. I will go show this off. I'll go grab it for. Show it off. I have been. finished assembling a bunch of guard units that I rounds. Now I have a fully operational. The only thing I have squad, but you could never have too much infantry to really fill out all the ranks. I've also fixed up my 3D printer, and that my terrain has been I have a 3D printer, and I have a subscription to, or a Patreon subscription to Palaxi, I think is their name, which is a 3D printing company that does terrain. So every month they give away a free models from their back catalog. So I have a bunch of models that I can print. Mike is cutting in and out. Yeah, it's gonna do that for a bit. It's basically like if I go over here, it'll probably get away. Then I move back, you can hear me again. It's a matter of like catching the range. I just have to remember to put my mic right in front of my face in order for you to hear me, which sucks, but that's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna go get my 3D printed thing because I actually printed it out and painted it today. So I'll be right back. All right, so it's not a gate thing because like you can hear me over here as I'm going away. If I turn my head this direction, harder to hear, it's gonna cut in and out more. And if I move away, just move my head a little bit, and it becomes a little bit harder to see. But yeah. So, green screen, tree. This is all 3D printed. I printed this in 3 different parts. And I just basically took a green spray paint, sprayed the top, and then brown spray paint and sprayed this, and then kind of covered up with like some brown, and then I added some shade to the green, a little bit darker. So this took me, I mean, the print was actually pretty extensive. It like this, you can actually see the line of where like here, where it connects. I had to print it in 3 different pieces. This still took me like 6 hours to print, but it took me about 15 minutes to just spray paint it out and be done with it. And I use like Krylon sort of paints, I'm like simple paints. It's a nice, happy looking tree. My broccoli. Yeah, it does have that kind of broccoli look to it. When it's on the table, though, it does look like a tree. And then this is also 3D print. To give you context in terms of, well, it's bus marine. And this is the small version of it, or medium version of it. There's a larger version of this. Is this small? Or is this the medium? I think this is the large one. This is the large one. There's a smaller version of this. There's a medium version of this. And I have 2 other ones, which are the smaller ones that I've done. They can be bigger. I also have one that's like size that I can print out. It's like a huge centerpiece sort of thing to block air, like air blocking terrain. And yeah, the issue is just resin and time. That tree for Warhammer Fantasy? Yeah, or for Warhammer 40K. Kind of works. Yeah, and the thing is that like all it does is it does take some kind of like preparation a little bit, like kind of understanding what you're learning how it functions, but this has saved me a lot of money on terrain. I used to buy and build terrain. It was such a pain. Like you can pretty much print an entire table for pretty cheap. And on top of that, a 3D printer is a nice thing to have because you can print a lot of other stuff. We've printed pots because my wife wanted some like funky pots for fun funky pots for smaller plants. We've printed a sunglasses holder because we've got a bunch of new glasses, so we want a holder, so we just got a printed a sunglasses holder, and of course like terrain and that. So yeah, there's some pretty cool. And this is the F, and it's not a resin printer, filament printer that I do. The resin printers give you a little bit more detail, but the filament printer is great for terrain. In fact, I have a local sort of group that's starting up in my area, and so I'm thinking about reaching out to them and seeing if they want me to print and paint some terrain for them, just so I can, help spread it out a little bit. It's like I have the files. I can print 30 of these. They're really not hard to make. And same with this. So it's the actual color, because I decided to get white rather than black, and I found that white really works well for these sorts of things. Kind of extended it out a little bit more, but I'm a big fan of those sorts of things because it really helps bring life to the table. With that, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in any of these, I do painting streams on Mondays. So Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, I will be maybe more like 10 a.m. Eastern. I got to change that around. But I will be painting minis. I've already started painting some other stuff, but I will this Monday I will be painting probably not an Avenger, but I do have a set of cutters. So I'll be painting a cutter. So you can come join us. Make sure to watch the lore video that's out. Office hours, including a capsule on the monthly report. That'll be coming out on Friday. And there is not going to be a captain's table this weekend because I am going to be helping raise money for charity with a tournament that we're doing. Sources version of Armada X-Wing with those models on NDA. Let's see. Oh, and on Sunday we'll probably do some a lore expedition, so we'll go ahead and get breakfast and stuff like that. So, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching, and like I say every time, hope to see you someday.